Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. While today's song is performed by Led Zeppelin, it's actually written by some blues artists called Memphis, Minnie, and Kansas Joe McCoy. Of course, this is intriguing to me. I'm excited to hear Led Zeppelin perform some blues, but I'm also going to be listening to the production because supposedly the recording of this is absolutely legendary. Let's get to it. Whoa. Wow. Okay, minute in, let's give some first thoughts. I think we just have to immediately acknowledge how awesome the drums sound. The moment they enter, like, it gives you a sense of space that's just so different. It doesn't feel like we're up on top of the drums. Instead, it feels like you're getting just this natural verb. I totally understood, like, the moment it started, it was like, wow, those drums, they feel so real, but also so deep. The impact it feels tangible. It's really good. Like, back to the beginning here. I think it's just amazing how you capture the natural reverb of that sound. It sounds so clean, but at the same time, it gives this ambiance that's just, yeah, it feels like it's not too clean, right? It's like not AI. It feels so authentic. Man, it's hard to describe why it's so good. I think, like, you'll have to go to a master level recording engineer to really understand that, because I can tell you it sounds good, but somebody who's really specialized in that area can tell you exactly why. The impact and the presence of them, I think those are the main things I go to. But then we start into here. I just love the harmonica. I think that's Robert Plant on the harmonica. And this whole first section feels like it's setting up ambiance. I did think that the voice would come in a little bit sooner. Surprised we haven't heard it yet. But instead, we're getting like a swampy kind of feel, right? This is about a flood of the Mississippi River, I think in 1927. So you definitely have that sort of down south swampy feeling. And I think you have a sort of trudgy bass at times, and also that has there's a bunch of pitch bending in the guitar that I think continues to make you feel like you're just walking through humidity. There's a certain, like, feels like that the lazy summer days, but also there's a sense of wailing. You get that in blues a lot. There's like this deep sadness, working sadness as well. Oh man, the slides in the harmonica are just awesome too. Man, he plays it like he sings. I'll point out we're essentially hanging out in the same pitches. We've been hanging out on a minor third, B, 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 right in this zone the whole time, and we're not changing keys ever. It's almost droney. There's just a bunch of repetitive patterns, and we're plugging away in this same key, same chord the entire time so far. There we go. We shifted a chord. Now we're going somewhere.
If it keeps on raining, levee's gonna break. If it keeps on raining, levee's going to break. When the levee breaks, have no place to stay.
It's so interesting how this feels very much atmospheric. It doesn't have as much compositional complexity as a lot of the things I've heard from Led Zeppelin, but it's working so well at the same time. And part of the reason for that, I think, is Robert Plant's voice. He weeps with his voice so well. And I think that blues vocalism a lot of times is all about moans and groans and weeping. It's sometimes it's really sexy, sometimes it's really sad. And always it just feels like there's this deep, soulful quality. One of the interesting things that I'm particularly noticing, though, is that Robert Plant's voice, he does bring a lot more forward and brings it to like an almost thinner placement than a lot of blues singers that I've heard. A lot of times if I think about blues singing, I think about something that's very open throated and they'll push into it so it almost cracks at times, right? So there's a very primal sense to the wail as well. Whereas Robert Plant is almost too good in his technique every now and then, gets like a little thinner, narrows it out a bit. Let's go back. But I love the way he moves through sustained vowels or diphthongs, things like break. He goes through each part of that, really enjoys it, milks it for all it's worth. That is definitely something I've heard some fantastic blues singers do as well. Very well suited to him. It's like he just loves the sensation of singing. Gosh, I love the way he extends his phrases, of course. I don't understand sometimes how Robert Plant is so dang good. I can spend forever analyzing him. He's really, I think, one of the best vocalists ever, period. And I am amazed when I hear all of the details and I think about, oh, technically, how did he do this and this and this? But it's not just one moment and how technically to get to it. It's all of those things combined together, and how I don't think he was even thinking about those things, even though he did them. I think he was thinking all about that message and the feeling and the sensation of singing. It's just like there's such a level above almost everyone else. I'll put Dio up there with him. I really love Dio too, and Pavarotti. Okay. I'm going to go back just a little bit because I want to talk about his vibrato in this section. Come on, vibrato, come in. Okay, so we've heard it a few different times now. He tends to bring that vibrato in at the end of final notes when he's extending them longer. And it's a very, very fast vibrato. And it's also a slightly wider one than we'll often hear, though he's very, very good at controlling vibrato, insanely so. I want to mention there are several different types of vibrato, and I'm honestly kind of curious what he might be doing here. When we hear blues, or I'm going to also go into gospel music here, sometimes we'll hear a much bigger vibrato and we'll associate it with something called gospel jaw. Most people, they'll think of Whitney Houston when they think of gospel jaw, where you'll see like a jaw, like a Pez dispenser kind of flapping a bit, right? But not fully closing like a Pez dispenser. It's like Minnie gonna trick you out. Anyhow, this kind of, well, it definitely can affect vibrato. Usually that's introducing more tension to encourage vibrato. And natural vibrato, which is the vibrato that most Western singers use, is that's a natural vibrato. That is engaged by relaxing and sort of like taking your foot off of the gas pedal. And there's this balancing relaxation that happens, and often we actually have a little laryngeal bobbing that goes along with it, as essentially contrasting muscles will relax. So it's really interesting. And we actually, while we know quite a bit about it, we also don't know quite a bit about it. So there's quite a bit of mystery there still. Usually natural vibrato isn't as fast as we're hearing here. Natural vibrato is often going to be a little bit slower. And it doesn't necessarily have as much, if you get older, sometimes you get a wobble. That means you're going further away from the pitch. He is pretty far away from the pitch, so the excursion from the pitch is pretty big here, but it's really fast, narrow. So to me, it sounds like he's bringing in a different type of vibrato. I don't know if he's using a gospel, like a jaw-influenced vibrato, or a diaphragmatic, where you're essentially using like puffs of air really fast to create it. But it's interesting because I've also heard him use a natural vibrato, and usually people are only adept at using one type, and Robert Plant seems like he's just able to do whatever he wants.
When the levee breaks, have no place to stay. Need no levee, come in a weep and moan.
It's really rapid. Maybe more diaphragmatic, I would guess. I just like the atmosphere that's created, especially by like the guitar drum combo. No, it's really guitar drum bass. Ooh. Really shifting keys now. That's when he goes inhuman. I can't believe it sometimes when I hear Robert Plant sing. It's so good. I love the way he reached into the upper extension here, and the way he like essentially goes into overdrive on the voice, adds some distortion to the sound. And I think you can look at like a really long career and see like, oh, okay, he did use his voice for a long time. It's not like he totally blew it out, though maybe he did at some point, lose some high notes. I'm not sure. I think I might have heard about that actually at one point. But anyhow, we're going to come back. It sounds like when he goes to this part and he just goes up and wails, to me, it's all feeling driven, right? And I think that he's actually capturing like the desperation of people in this situation extremely well. know what it feels like in here at that point, but it feels like he's not really focused on this part. Instead, he's just focused on this incredible connection to the sound, that there's so much legato breath, just fluid breath flowing all the time. One of the biggest problems that I see with vocalists is that they try to sing without enough breath flow, or they'll be essentially futzing with their breath flow so much that it doesn't have the continuity to stretch between something else. They'll essentially shut it off briefly and not realize that they've done it. They're kind of sausaging in and out. We'll call that sometimes. And his breath is like, even when he has a closure of the mouth, it still sounds like the stream of breath is ready to flow the moment his mouth opens back up. It's always there, always supportive. Yeah, that might be a little rough. Though, I don't know. It's possible to do that without any damage whatsoever. Man, it's so slidey. So I'm gonna put a little comment here about harmony and blues music. I know I studied piano for a very, very long time, y'all. I started playing when I was, 4 years old. I thought I was going to do piano instead of singing for a very long time as well. And at one point, of course, I did jazz and blues. You need to learn about that if you're going to go very far. And I just got so bored when I got to blues harmony. I feel like it was some of the simplest harmonies. Jazz, different, right? But blues, it was much more simple. And yeah, there are exceptions. There are things and like ways to make it more complicated. But the point wasn't the harmony. The point was the expression, really, with the blues and that weeping as well. And I think that this one, you can hear how it is incredibly simple harmonically most of the time. We're hanging out on one chord. But the way that each band member is finding like these pitch bends and this way to like lean in and lean away, it's creating this fluidity and this ebb and flow in the music that is just, it's profound. It has so much feeling and depth. I think it's fantastic. It's a great example of simple harmony does not need to mean simple music. Cool. I think that's a phasing effect.
When the levee breaks, mama, you got to
I think I'd read that Jimmy Page brought in some more phasing, but I was thinking it was just attributed to guitar. It really sounds like there's phasing on Robert Plant's voice at this point. But he's talking a lot about crying, and that right here is when they're talking about that levee breaking again. I wonder if it's the idea of like the flowing of the water when it breaks. I'm not sure. Trying to figure out why the phrasing is brought in there, what the coloration is. Let me know in chat what you think.
When the levee breaks, mama, you got to last night, I said I'ma let you know. Last night, I said
I think one of the reasons I find his singing so attractive is because it's all originating from this sobby kind of position. That is one of the key things that we'll be told as classical vocalists. Like, you're doing your bachelor's degree in college, they're going to tell you to sob at some point. Sob into the singing. I'm not kidding. That's one of the more frequent phrases that's used to help a singer connect with their support system. If you think about like that feeling, like if you try to even do like a fake sob and you feel this engagement essentially of your abdominals, that's also engagement of the abdominals and them restraining the diaphragm really at that point. That connection is very important for classical singers, especially to get, and any contemporary singer that's singing a line like this. People can feel, I think, when you're singing with your entire body. While there's this trend of really close breathy, like kind of singing, right, where it's super duper whispery. That is popular, and that has an intimacy that's fantastic and possible these days, right? That's amazing. I think that people connect with that very differently than they connect with this sobbing, sort of almost like retching kind of feeling that feels like your entire guts are poured into a moment of voice. I think it's incredibly precious when you hear that sound in both contemporary and operatic music. I'm really curious, like what made him think, oh, I'm going to make this section a little more sexy. I think when I hear him do those last parts, especially, I think, doesn't he sound doesn't that sound like a little steamy, right? Am I interpreting that wrong? I feel like I might be interpreting that wrong. And you guys can call me out on that. I'm totally happy to be called out on that. I want to mention, I love the instruments and the way they're like weaving over each other. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. That definitely feels like waves from the levee breaking. Yeah, that sounds more orgasmic to me, but I could be wrong. There's a reason why moaning applies to sadness and sexy times. I'm going to Chicago. Wow, such interesting effects applied to his voice right now. Wow. Oh my gosh, it just sounds like things are starting to fall apart at the seams here. I feel like this idea of going down or like being sucked into something is so incredibly like created in the sound. I feel like it's manifested in the sound. It feels like it's sucking my brain and my ears into this whirlpool here. It's absolutely amazing. Jeez. It's like almost uncomfortable. Feels like I can't escape it. Whoa. Oh, what a strange ending. The entire ambiance created by how this was recorded is truly phenomenal. I have to agree with that so much. I also feel it's amazing to hear Robert Plant's voice in a solidly blues song and compare that to how his singing has been in other songs. Obviously, he's got a ton of blues inspiration in his sound, but this was taking it even a step further. Ooh, so fascinating and so all-encompassing as well. What an amazing song. Wow. If you guys want to see some more analysis of Led Zeppelin, I'll throw up a playlist over here. And may you fall more in love with music every day.